this Micah thing would get some sort of resolution. Was losing a little bit of sleep last night because while I still feel confident this thing's going to get done, we've got to pay some attention to some of these content aggregators out there, these content creators, because you just never know where scoops are coming from. When I worked here locally, covered the Rangers, and Daniel Murphy's daughter told a preschool teacher that he was going to be an Indian, and he went off to Cleveland. So you have to run them all down. But I don't know if it's apathy at this point or people are just fatigued with the story. And I've certainly been texting a lot of my sources like a crazy ex the last couple of weeks. But all I'll say is they are moving a little differently right now. Everyone is. And and I know you guys love conspiracy theories, so do I.
Whoa.
My conspiracy theory on this is maybe this is a rumor that the Cowboys are leaning into a little bit to make Micah Parsons uncomfortable enough to come to Jerry, kiss the ring, and try and get this thing done.
Yeah, it turned to work into a shoot, brother. There is a chance that maybe it wasn't something real, and then with how loud it got, now they're starting to actually explore it. Both Micah never wanted to leave Dallas, then it starts getting loud, and people are like, Micah deserves to get paid. And then Micah's reading and hearing that people in Green Bay are like, give him $45 million a year.
Yes.
Trade 3 first-rounders for this guy. We would love to have him in Green Bay, and in Dallas, it doesn't seem like it's going like that.
Jerry Jones doubled down on Micah Parsons today. We got him for 3 years no matter what. Jerry, even though you say you're the general manager at the time, you're still the owner. And you can't negotiate directly. So you're going to have to remove yourself.
Hey, listen, Jerry played by his own set of rules. Matter of fact, when you have that kind of money, you're the owner of the team, you're the GM of the team, you can make those set of rules. When you're the most profitable franchise, you can make your own rules, which is why you can walk around and talk the way he talks.
That works if you have one. You can't have 3 or 4 of those. It works because Jerry is the only one. All the other owners are in the collective bargain agreement. All the other owners adhere to the policies and regulations. Do y'all think Jerry Jones have personal attorneys?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't he negotiate directly with someone else when he has an attorney? Does he do that? Jerry is willing to negotiate only when he's in an advantageous situation.
Most people are just fed up with this, just want this over. And I would even say that some of them probably even feel like trade him. Like, not that anybody wants the Cowboys to trade Micah Parsons, but I think so many people feel like, dude, or get off the pot. Like, just make a move, do something, like move in one direction, whether it's this one, that one, or another one, but just take a step. It doesn't even have to be forward, but just do something. That's honestly how I think most people feel about the Cowboys, because they're just treading water, whether it's with the Micah Parsons situation or not playing any starters in their preseason. They're just existing. They're just aging. They're just sitting, taking up, surface area. That's all they're doing right now. And that's why people are so exhausted with them. They're exhausted with the game of it all. Just take a step in a singular direction. Prove to us that you have some level of a plan, because as the great philosopher Phoebe Buffay once said, right now you don't even have a plug.
Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because what's happening in Dallas right now is nothing short of a nuclear meltdown inside America's team. The Cowboys' brightest star, Micah Parsons, isn't just demanding more money anymore. He's reportedly going to war with Jerry Jones and the entire Cowboys organization. And this time, it's not a holdout. It's not a trade request. It's not even about guaranteed millions. No, this time, it's a lawsuit. That's right, Micah Parsons has filed a grievance against the Cowboys and the NFL. And if he wins, Jerry Jones could be staring down a multi-million-dollar disaster. So, what's the fight about? Well, Parsons believes Jerry Jones and the league are undervaluing his contract by millions of dollars. And folks, the way this is going down could change how the NFL handles contracts for years to come. Here's the problem in simple terms. The Cowboys picked up Micah Parsons' 5th-year option. That means, for the 2025 season, Parsons is supposed to be locked in with a guaranteed salary. The Cowboys and the NFL say that number is $21.3 million. But Parsons and his camp? They're saying, hold up, that's not right. He should be paid $24 million instead. So where does the $2.7 million difference come from? It all depends on what position you list Micah Parsons as. The Cowboys officially listed Parsons as a defensive end. And under the CBA, a defensive end on the fifth-year option gets $21.3 million. But Parsons insists he's a linebacker, and that bumps his fifth-year option up to $24 million. Now you might be thinking, does this really matter? It's only a few million to an owner like Jerry Jones. But in the NFL, position classification is everything. It determines salaries, incentives, franchise tags, and even Hall of Fame legacies. And here's where it gets messy. Parsons won Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2021 as a linebacker. He made the Pro Bowl in 2022, 2023, and 2024 as a linebacker. He was even named a first-team All-Pro linebacker in 2021. So how in the world are the Cowboys trying to classify him as a defensive end?
When we wanted to send the details to the agent told us to stick it up our ass.
Wait, now see, I was
just so you're clear.
Wait. What do you mean? So wait. What do you mean? Because people are going to ask.
Mike and I talked, and then we were going to send it over to the agent. And we had our agreements on term, amount, guarantees, everything. We were going to send it over to the agent. And the agent said, don't bother because we've got all that to negotiate. Well, I'd already negotiated. I'd already moved off my mark over several areas. And so the issue, very frankly, is we've had the negotiation in my mind. And the agent's trying to get his nose in it right now and try to come in there and improve off the mark that we'd already said. It's the mama-daddy deal. You go into mama, and she won't do it. And she's the boss, she won't do it. So you run into daddy, daddy says do it, and then you go back in and say, mama, daddy said it was all right. It's the old mama-daddy deal. We've all been there and done that. Well, we've got this deal resolved in my mind for the Dallas Cowboys. And we've got it done, and if the agent wants to finish up the detail, which is should, and do all the paperwork, and he can do that, and we're ready to go. But as far as the amount of money, the years, the guarantees, all of that, we negotiate that. Now, I do want those fans to enjoy winning. Mm-hmm. I do. Mm-hmm. And we're the sixth winningest team in the last 20 years, not counting Super Bowls in the NFL.
Let me add this. No. By the way, more Pro Bowl, more first-team All-Pro players than anybody but the Ravens and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I mean, since 1996. So let's get that out the way, too.
Yeah. One of the things I was trying to make the point earlier, I can hang my hat on that. That gives me a little bit of a base to step forward out here on Monday or Wednesday and go to work and go get it. I know that we've been where we had a chance to reach one of those Super Bowls. And I've been to Super Bowls. And I know we've had a chance to be there. We haven't. And boy, do I get it. I get it.
I am a grown-ass man. Ain't no mama, daddy. You ain't my daddy, and this ain't no damn plantation. And what I know is I know my value of who I am and what I'm worth. And the market dictates who I am and what I'm worth. And what do you mean? I'm closer to my agent. I still work for my agent right now. He's the closest thing to family I ever had. You're temporarily my boss. You're my boss. It's no personal relationship with me and you. We ain't homies. We ain't boys. Because I knew if I got injured right now, you'll step over me and hire the next guy, right? What do you mean? I'm not some child. I know what the hell I'm talking about, and I pay my agent so I don't get screwed over like players used to, right? The same thing I had to watch Emmitt Smith go through after he put his body on the line, played with separated shoulders, gonna be sitting up there on pain pills the rest of his life, probably got arthritic limbs, getting post-surgeries in his 50s. So that's why my agent protects me from myself, because he knows how much I love the game, and you know how much I love the game. You could have got this over with last year by paying me early. If you would have just gave me $35 million, you would have saved that. I guarantee you the contract they're offering to Micah right now is more than what they could have got him for last year. So that's you not doing your due diligence as a businessman, recognizing my value early. We don't have to talk about Garrett Wilson and Sauce because they got paid early because they recognized we knew Micah Parsons was special day one. Man, don't come at me like this on plantation and, boy, go do your work. Because I got value. And listen, I'll come here and I'll sit and stand on principle. I'll come in here and play 1 or 2 games and sit down and I'll look my teammates in the eye and they'll understand exactly, because if it's me today, it's you tomorrow.
Yep. In the spirit of not doing the old mother-dad deal, how many times have you seen the little rascal so clever go in there and mama told him, you're not going to get it, and goes in to daddy, who only sees him after 5 in the afternoon, wants to love him, and says, you can have it, son. You can have that before dinner. And he goes back in and says, Mama, Daddy said I could have it. That's the old mom, dad, been around since the beginning of time. I'm not going to go for that here. That's what's happening.
You're not going for it?
I'm not going for it. No. But we've had a very, very strong negotiation. Now, by the way, frankly, it wouldn't have made any difference what the negotiation was. Guess who has to be comfortable for this to work?
Micah.
And who else?
You.
Hello. There's not room for a third. There's not room for a third. This will be a good one.
Well, Jerry Jones and the team point to the CBA rule that says a player's 5th-year option is based on the position where he played the most snaps during his 3rd year in the league. And in 2023, Parsons lined up a ton as an edge rusher. He rushed the passer, blew up offensive lines, and looked like a dominant defensive end. So, by the letter of the law, the Cowboys feel justified saying, Micah's a defensive end. Pay him like one. But Parsons' side argues something totally different. Just because you line up on the edge doesn't make you a DE. In today's NFL, linebackers constantly line up on the edge. Parsons isn't a hand-in-the-dirt pass rusher like Nick Bosa or Myles Garrett. He's a hybrid weapon, moving all over the field. In Parsons' words, I am a linebacker. Always have been. Always will be. So, now Parsons has filed a formal grievance. And this isn't just a complaint. It's basically a lawsuit within the NFL system. An independent arbitrator will break down every single snap Parsons played in 2023 to figure out if he was more linebacker or defensive end. Think about that. We're talking about literally analyzing thousands of plays to determine Parsons' title. That's how deep this fight goes. And here's the kicker. Most public salary databases, including the NFL Players Association's own records, already list Parsons' option at $24 million. But the NFL and Cowboys are holding their ground at $21.3 million. So the big question is,
how close are you to getting a deal with him?
Micah's a great player, not a good player, but a great player. He knows more than anyone that it's a team thing. And so I know everybody's tired of hearing this, but you've got to put this puzzle together so that you can have some other people out there playing with Michael. That's the art of the deal, and that's why we're trying to get done. And we're trying to make this thing work. But we have all the appreciation in the world for what he can mean to the years ahead. We're proud to have him.
It's certainly not enough to trade him. And the idea that just because the front office made the mistake of not paying him early, which I think we all agree is a mistake, means now they should make a mistake even worse by moving on from him, accumulating draft picks, in hopes that they might get a player like Micah Parsons. That's nonsense. They should keep him. They should pay him. And then you can figure it out with the rest. It's not an untenable cap situation to pay him and restructure Dak Prescott. I've looked at it. It is entirely possible for this team to do this.
Yeah, they can pay him, but then how does your team get markedly better from what it was last year? They got 25 free agents, y'all.
Time out. This ain't unsportsmanlike.
Trading him?
This ain't hold on, y'all. Hold on. This ain't unsportsmanlike. This is First Take. We have this segment because you brought up culture. You brought up the podcast. You brought up the locker room. Now, we can go back and forth in terms of the numbers. We playing a numbers game. All right, he's one player. You're already paying CD Lamb and Dak. You add Micah Parsons to that. It's problematic. I got that part. You could go either way with what you said or Mina saying you can restructure his deal or what have you. I'm not debating that. The reason this is a segment, First Take, the reason this is a segment is because you brought up culture. You brought up the podcast. You brought up the locker room and the comment about Mike McCarthy. That is the reason we are talking about this subject. If it was just a matter of numbers, we wouldn't have been addressing this. We did this days ago. We did this because you went on the air and you brought up culture and blamed him, which to me is crazy. That's just crazy. You don't blame Micah Parsons for culture in Dallas?
Well, Stephen A., if I'm going to pay a guy $40 million a year, he's going to have to be a part of the culture being a good thing, not something that my organization and the rest of my locker room has to overcome.
So I compare dude 40, I compare dude 60 that can't get it done, but I'm going to have a problem playing a brother 30 to 40 who does.
Sure, this fight is technically over $2.7 million. But make no mistake, this is about way more than dollars. This is about respect, identity, and leverage. Parsons already feels disrespected by Jerry Jones after the Cowboys stalled on giving him a massive long-term deal. He's seen other defensive stars like Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett, and TJ Watt get record-breaking contracts. Yet here he is, the heart and soul of the Cowboys' defense, still fighting for the money he feels he's already earned. By suing the Cowboys and the NFL, Parsons is sending a clear message. I'm not going to let this organization define me. I define me. And let's be real, this grievance could be the tipping point that pushes Parsons completely out of Dallas. And what about Jerry Jones? Well, you already know Jerry. The man is stubborn. The man loves control. And the man doesn't like being told he's wrong. Jones has already come out publicly saying, Micah's got 3 years left with the Cowboys. At some point, somebody has to have the say over the other. That somebody is me. That's classic Jerry. He sees himself as the check writer, the shot caller, the man who decides what Micah Parsons is worth. But here's the problem. In the court of NFL law, Jerry Jones doesn't get to make that decision. The grievance process does. And if the arbitrator rules in Parsons' favor, Jerry will be forced to cough up the extra millions and maybe even lose leverage in future negotiations. Let's zoom out. If Parsons wins this grievance, it could mean disaster for the Cowboys. Why? Because it sets a precedent. Every hybrid player in the league, every linebacker who rushes the passer, every safety who lines up in the box, could start demanding reclassification for higher salaries. This isn't just about Micah Parsons. This is about the future of NFL contracts. And for the Cowboys, it could mean losing their most dominant defensive weapon. Parsons has already made a trade request public earlier this summer. If this grievance blows up, don't be surprised if Parsons says, "Enough is enough. Trade me. I'm done with Dallas." At the end of the day, this grievance isn't just about money, it's about Parsons' place in NFL history. Is he going to be remembered as a generational linebacker, a hybrid pass-rushing force, or just another defensive end? Parsons is fighting for the title of linebacker because he knows what it means. Linebackers are versatile. Linebackers lead defenses. Linebackers get remembered as legends. And maybe, just maybe, Parsons doesn't trust Jerry Jones to protect that legacy.
Not all contract holdouts are the same, and the media tends to always take the player's side in this. I get that with Terry McLaurin of Washington. I'm on his side. I'm not on Micah Parsons. First of all, I was on team trade Micah Parsons a year ago. The Cowboys are a mile from the Philadelphia Eagles roster composition. They need 4 good players. I would have gotten a couple of second-round picks, maybe a first and a fourth, whatever. I like Micah. He's a good player. But I'm not making him the highest paid defensive end. He's not Myles Garrett. He's not Aiden Hutchinson. He's not Max Crosby. He's not TJ Watt. He's not Nick Bosa. I like him a lot.
Grew up in Mount Vernon, uptown.
Money earning.
The Red Raiders, we were the Red Raiders in the 60s. I was the running back, and we used to shift like the Cowboys.
Landry.
So I said, oh, the Cowboys play like us.
Right.
I've been a Cowboy fan since the 60s. He's making it hard for me.
Wow.
Not to be a fan, because I'm still a Cowboy fan. I'm still going to have the star on the side of the hat. But he ain't thinking about us. He's thinking about his pocket.
I would expect that the Packers would be among the teams interested. And I would say, I would expect the Packers would be among the teams really interested.
Okay.
They have paid Jordan Love. They have a bunch of really good young players, but they haven't. There's some guys like Quay Walker they have not paid. Zach Tom they paid, but they have money to spend, and they are really good. And so like that's the kind of team that I would say if Micah was going to be traded that he'd be going to, because it's like we need one final piece. This guy is an absolute dog. He's worth all the money, so pay him all the money. I mean, God only knows what Mulugeta would make that contract. It'd be all of it. But it'd be worth it because you'd get Micah Parsons.
This comes off, look, RC hit it right. Look, it is tone deaf. I mean, they're talking like, poor us. Why are you picking on us? Why are you talking about us all the time? We're just doing business like everyone else. No, you're not. No other team in the NFL has an owner who now is holding it against a player. The fact that he had a private conversation with him and thought that they had a deal and were trying to bypass the agent, and now they are going to like engage in this petty kind of behavior to where I won't talk to you now because I thought I had a deal with the player. No other owner does that. How the hell can we not talk about that kind of thing? That is such a unique storyline. I've never heard of that. I never heard of that during my time as a player dog. I haven't heard of that during my time as a front office person. I haven't heard of that during my time here at ESPN of an owner refusing to talk to an agent saying, look, I think that the conversation I had with the player is binding and we should go off of that. That's just ridiculous. And then when they talk about the fact, she also made comments about, the fact that there's a salary cap, there's only so much money to go around, and we can't pay everyone. It's like, understand, you're managing the salary cap. You're the ones who are like choosing to strike contracts and write contracts the way in which you are, in the time in which you do, that puts you at a deficit every single time. They're making their own situations here. We're just talking about them because they're so unique and so dysfunctional.
So here we are. The Cowboys are weeks away from their season opener against the Eagles, and instead of celebrating their superstar, they're in the middle of a lawsuit with him. Jerry Jones says Parsons is a defensive end. Micah Parsons says he's a linebacker. And in the middle of it all, millions of dollars, broken trust, and a potential split that could rock the NFL. This isn't just a contract dispute. This is a battle for power, for respect, and for the very future of the Dallas Cowboys. So buckle up, because the Micah Parsons versus Jerry Jones war is just getting started. What do you think? Is Micah Parsons right to sue Jerry Jones and the Cowboys over his contract? Or is Jerry justified in standing his ground? Drop your thoughts below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe, because this Cowboys drama is far from over. And trust me, you're not going to want to miss the next chapter.